Yelp is a ripoff. Who has ever heard that before? I've heard that before many, many times, but I want to tell you guys what I did when I first started out my handyman business and how I kind of got my marketing going. Back in 2017, well, really it was late 2016 when I first started in this business. Like I mentioned in my last videos, I had absolutely no clue where to start as far as marketing goes or pricing or anything like that. Had to kind of figure it all out at the very beginning. Hey friends, welcome to day 7 of my 100-day video challenge. Super excited for you to be here. It is September 12th, 2023, and I am on a 100-day challenge, basically making videos for the next 100 working days, trying to impart some knowledge on some of the viewers here. I'm basically kind of going back, reminiscing on some of my startup journey back in 2016, early 2017, how I made a lot of mistakes. I learned a lot of things, did a lot of things wrong, but I also did a few things right with the help of some other people. And so that's kind of the whole mission and ethos of these 100-day challenge. This is also day 7 of having our general manager. We recently promoted our estimator to our general manager, and that moves me up to CEO, which basically I'm in charge of marketing, finances, and company culture. So super stoked about that. We are basically training him for the next 3 months, working together, occasionally, imparting kind of systems and processes to make his job a little bit smoother. I'm excited because I think he's already going to do a better job than I have been doing at general manager, which is really exciting. A side note, every time I've hired someone, I found that they do a better job at the job than me, because what I do is I'm the owner, right? I have so much to do. I'm wearing all the hats, and same for you. But when you hire someone to do a specific job, they tend to do it a lot better than you did it originally, because they get to focus on that laser focus, and they come up with better systems, better processes than you could ever come up with. So pretty stoked about that. If you guys want to hear more about hiring, drop a comment in the comment section below. I'd be happy to talk about that, because we've definitely done a lot of that the last few years. But let's get back to my marketing startup journey. So when it starts with me and my wife, when we first got married, we moved to a new town, and I wanted to take my wife out to a Mexican restaurant. And we had no clue, of good ones. We didn't know anyone in this town, so we didn't have anyone to ask. So what did I do? I went on Yelp. And I said Mexican restaurants. And we went out to this Mexican restaurant that had really great Yelp reviews, and we walked in, and I remember both me and my wife looked at each other, and we're like, are you sure you want to eat here? Like, should we just leave? Because it looked like a hole in the wall, right? But we decided to stay because it had good Yelp reviews, and we actually had the best Mexican food we've ever had. In fact, we still go there on occasions. It's unfortunately, the business has gone out of business due to COVID, but now it's owned by another Mexican restaurant, which is still all right. It's not the best like the other one was, but we went there for many, many years, and we found it all because of Yelp. So when I decided to start up my handyman business, that was kind of my thought. Like, literally, this stuff is not rocket science. I literally just thought, I'm like, well, I used Yelp to find a Mexican restaurant, so maybe people will use Yelp to find handyman businesses, right? That was my thought, right? It's nothing amazing or anything like that, although we have created more systems to make it kind of more bulletproof and, fine line where you can find out what marketing works best for you. So when I first started out, probably at the beginning of December, I decided to invest in Yelp. And the whole thought on that was I needed to invest in Yelp before I went full-time so that I could build up some clientele and have a full week's worth of work that first week. That first week, I learned a whole lot of lessons. I did a whole lot of things wrong, screwed up on a few jobs. You can watch on some of the prior of these 100-day video challenge videos. I think day 3 or day 4, I talk a lot about some of my issues that I had my first full-time week in the handyman industry. But Yelp has really served me well. I've heard it on many different platforms, many different occasions, where people say Yelp is a ripoff. Run as fast as you can away from Yelp. Now, sometimes that is true, but the biggest thing about business, the biggest thing about life is you can't listen to everyone, because not everyone has the same life as you. Not everyone's in the same demographics as you. So it's really up to you to find out what marketing works best for you in your specific handyman business, in your specific town. No one else can tell you that. No one else can tell you what works, what doesn't. But we can definitely kind of guide you along the right path on things that you might want to try. So in the handyman, I started out in this journey, right, just investing on Yelp. But after a few months, I kind of figured out a more methodical plan of figuring out what marketing works best for you. So I actually wrote this book, the Handyman Marketing Handbook. I would highly recommend you read it. I wrote it, so I'm a little biased, but I think the reviews speak for themselves. Check it out on Amazon. I'll put a link in the description below where you can find it. In this book, I detail how to find what marketing works best for you in your specific area. And I'll give you kind of the basics rundown, although there's a whole lot of more information in that book, as well as other testimonials and actual case studies and things like that. But the basic premise is go to Google and type in handyman near and then whatever town you're in. For me, I'm in Roseville, right? Handyman near Roseville, California. And scroll down past the sponsored ads and things like that and go to the first populated like search engine type thing in there. You'll have Home Advisor, you'll have Angie's List, you'll have Yelp, you'll have Thumbtack, Nextdoor, things like that. And the category of them will be top 10 best handymen in Roseville, California, right? And for me, if you go to Google and you type in handyman near Roseville, California, scroll past all the sponsored ads, which we'll have them, right? Honestly, Handyman, we advertise pretty heavily on Google. Scroll all past that, you will find the first population will be Yelp, and it'll say the top 10 best handymen in Roseville, California. So that tells me that Yelp has the biggest standing here in Roseville, California, based on kind of those other search engine platforms as far as Home Advisors, Angie's List. Yelp is kind of spending the most money to get the most clients here in my town locally. So it has worked really well for me, and I didn't know that that's why it worked well. I kind of just invested into it blindly, but that I made a good decision. That's the number one kind of search engine function here in Roseville. Now, by and large, what I've learned more than that by working with Jason Call over at Handyman Marketing Pros, fantastic guy if you are looking for anything marketing, SEO related for handyman industry. Go to handymanmarketingpros.com, talk to my buddy Jason Call. After working with him, I learned that Google is the number one search engine in the world. So even above Yelp, above Home Advisor, above Angie's List, Google is by and large the best place to spend your money. So we invest heavily on Google, in Google ads, but even to this day, we still invest on Yelp. There's been times when we've shut Yelp off. There's times when we've started it up. We recently started Yelp up about 2 months ago again, kind of on and off. But Yelp still brings in a lot of clients. We get a lot of people messaging us every day on Yelp that are looking for handyman work. Now, the competition's a little bit heavier because what Yelp does is when someone needs a work request, if they don't request specifically to the handyman and they just put it kind of out there on Yelp, Yelp is going to send that data message request to a bunch of different handymen that are paying for their platform. So you may be getting an ad or a lead from Yelp, and Thumbtack does the same, Home Advisor, but that company is also sending that lead out to multiple different handymen in your specific area. So the competition is fierce, right? If someone goes directly to like the Honestly Handyman page on Yelp and submits an email to us specifically, it's only going to go to us. But Google is really fantastic because Google is, they target people that are actively looking for handyman. So when they type in handyman near Roseville, California on Google, our ad is going to come up first because we are sponsored on there. We pay them for Google ads. So they're going to go directly to our website. They're going to submit directly a work request form on our website. It's going to go directly to us. It's not going to go to any other handyman. So that's why Google is a lot more cost effective that way. Google, they do recommend that you spend more money on Google. So that's why I ended up going with Yelp originally, was because it was a little bit less expensive. And I still do Yelp. It's important to have kind of a diversified portfolio, right? We invest the majority of our stuff on Google, just Google pay per click, and then we have Google local service ads, and then we have Yelp. And then we have a bunch of other printed material, yard signs, things like that. But that's a little bit of my kind of startup marketing journey. I would love to hear your thoughts on that, how you're doing it, what you thought about what I'm doing. Drop me a comment in the comment section below, and like this video and subscribe to this channel. And catch me tomorrow, which will be day 8 of this 100-day challenge. We'll see you guys later. Have a good one.